don't buy an iPad Pro. That is my message to you as news of Apple's delay for their new iPad lineup until May. Instead, I'm going to give you 10 reasons that you should get a Tab S9 Ultra instead of an iPad Pro. Let's go. So with Apple's iPad Pro delayed, at this moment we're unsure as to what it is that they're bringing. Now has never been a better time to consider the Samsung Galaxy Tab series, especially the Tab S9 Ultra. This thing is a certified beast of a tablet, and I think in a lot of ways it can also be a laptop replacement. So let's dive into the 10 reasons why this is a better choice, just from the fact that you can actually get one right now. Reason number 1 is the form factor. The Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra goes for the 16:10 aspect ratio and a landscape orientation. This means that for productivity and entertainment, it can kind of serve a dual purpose. That factored in with its incredibly thin and light design means you've got a portable device that's got lots of power, but with a form factor that can cater for both productivity and entertainment. 16:10 is so good because you can actually use, like Samsung Notes, for example, with 2 full-size note pages on either side of the screen. And with 16:10, you've got proper entertainment because most videos you're going to watch, whether it be TV shows or YouTube, will be in that 16:9 aspect ratio, with the option to fill it in should you need to. Reason number 2, and this kind of ties in closely to the form factor being that landscape orientation. It's the cameras. Not the rear cameras, because I don't think tablets need rear cameras at all, but the selfie cameras. 2 of them, in fact. Samsung have built a notch. I know, the days where we were poking fun at notches, and here we are. However, this notch has a really great purpose attached to it. In here is 2 selfie cameras, an ultra wide angle and a standard wide angle, both of them supporting 4K resolution. So for video conferencing and video calls, whether it be social or for business, you've got 2 cameras here that you can tap into. And Samsung have built auto framing. So with the ultra wide angle, it will support the ability to sort of monitor you around the frame, and in certain applications even isolate the right person speaking and sort of crop into that person using the camera. So it's really clever, and it actually serves its purpose for the landscape orientation that it comes in natively. Samsung's done a really good job with it. Number 3, the S Pen. Apple charge you for the Apple Pencil. You need to buy it as a separate accessory. And the thing with the Apple Pencil 2 is that it requires to be charged to do any of the writing that you need to do on the screen. The S Pen's different. Yes, you can charge this pen, and it does charge magnetically and wirelessly on the back. But you don't need that pen to be charged to operate and function as a pen. You can write on the screen without any battery with this whatsoever, because it uses Wacom technology to recognize when it's close to the screen, and that requires no battery. But you of course have the added benefit of the battery, and what that allows you to do is use this as a remote for your tablet. Whether that be controlling PowerPoint presentations, whether that be controlling music or media, the S Pen is truly transformative when it comes to interacting with the Tab S9 Ultra. Not only that, it's a really great pen. It's got the really fine pen tip with 4096 levels of pressure and an incredible low latency of 2.6 milliseconds. It's going to give you an incredible response time for all of your productivity and for your creativity, whether that be in apps like PenUp or Samsung Notes. It's going to be incredibly good. And it comes in the box, free / bundled with the price of the unit that you just paid for. Number 4, the oneui experience on the Samsung tablets. Samsung have worked really hard to make tablets and the experience of using a tablet better than just using a smartphone. They've optimized the tablet UI with oneui and brought a lot of what you would say foldable feature set across. I think that's probably what you can, I guess, attribute as a positive too, is that Samsung have made foldables, because a lot of the foldable feature set that gets developed ends up making its way to tablets too. It's that large screen oneui experience. Things like taskbar, having the dock down the bottom to drag and use apps that you use frequently. Things like multi-window and 3-app multitasking. They're all things that have originated on the Fold, but the tablet series has benefited from as well. The Samsung Notes platform is so well tailored to the Galaxy tablet experience, especially if you've got a keyboard too, because you not only get all the great S Pen stuff, but you get all of the great typing experience from the keyboard in Samsung Notes too. It's just a really cohesive oneui tablet experience that it gives you. And then, reason number 5, when you add Samsung DeX on top of that, you can transform this thing from a regular tablet into a laptop into a desktop. That's what DeX is all about. Now, I say DeX, and a lot of you probably think I just mean the classic DeX, which is obviously great. The ability to have DeX running natively on the tablet itself, but also plugging in to something like a monitor like the Espresso 17 Pro here, and turning it into a full-blown desktop experience. But Samsung did something recently where they built a new version of DeX. And it's very, very subtle what they've done in that they've basically taken standard One UI and tweaked it to suit a tablet interface. I think Samsung is angling to replace the standard One UI experience with this new DeX, not replace the classic DeX. In my opinion, that is going nowhere. But this new DeX that you can watch a full video that I've done on it is basically just tweaking One UI for a bigger tablet experience. Check it out if you want. Number 6 is the display. Samsung, the king of displays. A lot of manufacturers end up using Samsung Display to make displays for their product. So why not just go straight to the source? Because the Tab S9 Ultra with its dynamic AMOLED screen, 120Hz refresh rate, and just the incredible colors and detail you get out of the panel, it's so worth it. Because for productivity and entertainment, matched with that aspect ratio of 16:10, you've got an incredible display to do everything on. Number 7 is battery. And yeah, the battery life on the Tab S9 Ultra is phenomenal. Like the Tab S8 Ultra before it. A lot of that is down to the chipset that's on here. It's using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy. That proved with the S23 series to be incredibly efficient and also very powerful. So you've got that here with the big battery and a nice display. Sort of a nice package for battery. Number 8 is Samsung's ecosystem. Now, I know a lot of you will say that Apple have the superior ecosystem, but I just don't buy into that anymore because Samsung have pretty much built on their side of things parity when it comes to feature set, but also expansion of that because Samsung allow you to pair with other OSs like Windows. You can use the Tab S9 Ultra as a second screen for your Windows operating system. But you can also do things like drag and drop files between the two OS and also use things like Samsung Flow. You've got Quick Share. Samsung have built a really unique ecosystem with the Tab S9 Ultra, not just for their own products, but for other manufacturers as well. But of course, for their own products, you've got the ability to do call and text on other devices, for example, which is a great way of pairing your phone and your tablet together. Number 9 is storage options. Samsung with their tablets still allow for micro SD storage expansion, which as a Samsung user for a very, very long time, almost a lifetime now, this is so good to have. I still have SD cards floating around everywhere. In fact, the one that's in my Tab S9 Ultra now is the one that Samsung gave in Australia with the Note 7 pre-order. So having the option to expand your storage from what's currently available on the tablet gives you that extra peace of mind. I just want to throw in one more thing for form factor while I remember it. IP68. The Tab S9 series is the first Samsung tablets to be water and dust resistant, excluding the Tab Active range, of course. So having the confidence to take this thing sort of anywhere means you don't have to worry about getting this thing wet in the elements because it's actually supported to that degree. Just another thing to throw in for point number 1. And the last point here is One UI 6.1. Because One UI 6.1 brings all of the Galaxy AI features to this Tab S9 Ultra. Now, I haven't got it yet on my one, so I'm just waiting patiently for the download to happen. But I have got it on my S23 Ultra and my Fold 5. And it works exceptionally flawlessly on both of those. And as you saw in my S24 versus S23 Galaxy AI battle, it's the same experience. So having it on a tablet with a larger screen, things like Note Assist and Browsing Assist, is going to be sensational. So they are my 10 reasons I think you should get this instead of an iPad Pro. So don't wait, get this instead. You will not regret it. Make sure you hit subscribe. Plenty more Samsung content to come, plenty more already existing here on the channel. Come follow me on my socials. I've got Twitter/X and I'm also on Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Yo!